As the new year begins and cold weather sets in, make sure your home stays warm and reliable with an incredible deal from Premier Heating and Air. Get $500 instant rebate on a standard efficiency unit, $1,000 on a higher efficiency model, and $1,500 instant rebate on the highest efficiency models. Get a heat system checkup for only $49. So don't drop the ball on your heating and air system. Experience a Premier difference today. Log on to dublin.premierishere.com or call 478-300-2633. Restrictions may apply, cannot be combined with other offers, and this expires 1/31/2026. Premier Heating and Air, a locally owned and operated company.
Folks, I'd like to welcome you tonight to the 25 Football Awards Night. Thank you for coming out to recognize these tremendous student athletes. Our young men this year finished 9-3 in what many people would have considered being a rebuilding year. We went into the season with 85% of our offense had graduated from the year before. We lost 3 offensive linemen. On defense, we'd lost all 3 starting linebackers, 2 of our starting defensive backs, and a defensive end that went on to play at the collegiate level. So much to replace, but this group of young men that we're recognizing tonight, we're determined to keep that Dublin tradition of tough, hard-nosed football going. One that they were willing to put in all the hard work that's required to represent Dublin High School, to represent their families, their community, and I believe that these young men accomplished the goal that they set out to, and I'd like to start this night off by giving them a round of applause for a great year. First thing we'd like to do tonight is we're extremely honored on a weekly basis, to have 2 gentlemen that stand with our young men as our team chaplain. I would like to ask Brother Jerry Cantu, if he would, from Liberty Baptist Church, to come up and start us off tonight with a word of prayer. Let's give Mr. Cantu a great round of applause. While Jerry's on his way up, also I want to make sure that we recognize over here Thomas Wicker. He served also as a team chaplain for us in many other roles, and we do appreciate everything that you've done, Mr. Wicker. Thank you.
Before we get started, let's pray. Father, we just come to you tonight, Lord. We just want to say thank you for who you are, Father. Thank you for being such an amazing God, Lord. Father, and thank you for such an amazing season, Lord, and a success in what we've seen and just these young men growing together as a brotherhood, Lord. Thank you for this game that we get to play, Father. We glorify you and give you all the honor for that, Father, and thank you for these amazing coaches that pour into these young men as well, Lord. So, Father, without you, none of this is possible. And so we want to give you the rightful praise that you deserve. And we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Obviously, you don't want to start one of these banquets without doing the proper thank yous that are in order for the people that work behind the scenes very hard in order to make sure that these young men have every opportunity to be successful. And, number one, that starts at Dublin High School with our principal, Dr. Michael Overstreet, our assistant principals, Dr. Zellner, Ms. Curtis, and our own representing the staff here tonight, Dublin Hall of Famer, Mr. Reggie Cordy. Also, I want to recognize Mr. Josh McClendon, who came to us this year, who serves as the Dublin High School Athletic Director, and he's been very supportive of everything that we've tried to do, and he's at every game doing everything he can to make it right. So we really appreciate all that you've been doing, Coach McClendon. Ms. Stephanie Stubbs, on the level of the school system, does an enormous amount. She helps these young people get registered with the NCAA clearinghouse. She helps these young people with a lot of their academic concerns, as they're trying to have an opportunity to go play at the next level. Also, Ms. Stubbs is the person that coordinates game day and makes sure that anybody that comes to visit Dublin High School and play a football game on Friday night has all the information they need to make us a good host. So, Ms. Stubbs, I don't know if you're out there tonight, but if you are, thank you very, very much. I felt like this year that one of the things that was better than ever in the Shamrock Bowl on Friday night was the Jumbotron. Patrick Warren handles the Jumbotron for us, and I just noticed there were a lot of new things going on with the Jumbotron this year. It's a full-time gig on Friday night, but we certainly appreciate Patrick handling the Jumbotron, doing all that for us, okay? The next individual is behind the scenes a whole lot, but he keeps Dublin at the front. He's got a full-time job on top of handling all the athletic duties and so on and so forth. But we're very, very thankful to have Jason Holcomb, okay, as our media person, and he'll be here tonight making pictures and spreading the word about all the good things that these young men do. And Jason, we appreciate all that you do. For all of our senior football players, if you noticed when you walked in tonight, we had your banner hanging in the lobby. Okay, what we want you to do when you go out, Mr. Jason's one in charge of getting all those banners made for you and stuff. But what we'd like for you to do is have an opportunity to get with your family, stand in front of your senior banner, get you a picture of that with that senior banner, and on your way out the door and on the way home, take your senior banner with you as something to remember your senior year with. So, Jason, thank you for handling that for us. Go ahead. Give Jason a big round of applause. He deserves one. Two ladies in the front office you can't do without is, number one, Miss Chelsea Maddox. If you've ever had to deal with anything, your child, with the school, with what's going on at the school or whatever, all you got to do is reach out to the front office at Dublin High School, and Miss Maddox does a wonderful job. She handles all the stuff, making sure these young people have their things in Dragonfly and a lot of that stuff with the physicals. And then Miss Lynn Blackburn, she handles all the check writing for officials and handles all the books and stuff at Dublin High School, and just does a tremendous job. Miss Pam Jones with nutrition. Your young men may have come home sometimes after practice hungry, but they didn't come home starving, because Miss Pam with our nutrition department does a phenomenal job of making sure that all of our young people have food to eat before they go home, help tide them over and that type thing. And we're very appreciative of Miss Pam and Miss Rakita Carr. Miss Rakita runs our cafeteria, and she handles all the pregame meals that your son and people have before we get ready to go play. And without Miss Rakita and her staff, it would be extremely tough to make it all happen. In the back, we have Mr. Jeremy Ellenberg. He's kind of got all the lights and everything set up, but he's the one that handles all the National Federation. If you're not able to make it to a game and you've got a National Federation account, you're able to stay at home and watch the games, okay, on live stream and stuff. We certainly appreciate Jeremy handling all that. Mr. Brent Tanner. Mr. Tanner is the gentleman for years who does all of our stats. He goes unnoticed. He stays in the background, but he very seldom ever misses a game. He keeps up with all the stats. He's the person that reports all of that to the newspapers and the TV, so they get it on Friday night, and they've got it ready for print on Saturday morning. And it's a tremendous help to have Mr. Tanner. I think Tommy Howell, who is our transportation director. Bus is here on time all the time. Bus is ready to travel. If we run into something where we need a bus driver, Mr. Howell does everything that he can to make sure that that person is provided. And he also has turned into the sideline reporter for our radio broadcast of our games. So we thank Tommy. In the back, I know he's in the back because he's always hiding, but Mr. Ronald Pierce, the tailgate king, okay, providing all the pregame, postgame meals for our players on Friday nights. They're out there on Fridays preparing the food for the members of the Touchdown Club and so on and so forth. Michael Daniel, I think Mr. Daniel's around here somewhere. He's in the front. He's always out there helping make sure that all those meals are prepared, along with a lot of other people. On Friday nights, it's a blessing to have a great chain crew. They've been doing it for years. Okay, Mr. Josh Deriso, Mr. Alton Culver, who also serves as our Touchdown Club president, and Tarnez Smith. They do a great job. I've got to get them to understand the lingo of a sideline crew. They haven't got it mastered yet. See, when they're over there, when we play at home and they're on the visitor sideline, if I look across through there and they're taking their hat off, that's supposed to mean they're fixing to go up top. They're throwing a pass. If they're pulling on their collar, okay, it's supposed to mean they're running the football. They won't do that. You know, they're too dadgum honest over there, but trust me, we do have to keep an eye out on the chain crew when we're playing it on the road, because we don't want them giving the signs out of what we're doing, okay? That's a joke, by the way. Our Board of Education, anything that you're able to get done is relying upon your Board of Education. I know I see two of our board members here tonight, Mr. John Bell and newly elected board member, Mr. Jeff Davis in the back. And I can't see well. Are there any other board members that are here tonight? If so, thank you very much to our superintendents that we've had this year. Thank y'all extremely for all that you've done for supporting these young men in this program. I would be remiss if I did not mention the Dublin Middle School football program and the football coaches led by Seth Watts. Back-to-back years of conference championships. They're building a program that keeps our feeder system going. They're doing a phenomenal job, and I wanted to make sure on a football night we recognize what all's been going on at the middle school. Coach Watts being the head coach, but his assistants are Matthew Poe, Matt Starley, and Kevin Thomas. Okay, give them a nice round of applause. Back-to-back conference champs.
Hi, I'm Tom Domine. Here at Dublin with Nelson, we pride ourselves on providing the industry's highest quality products at the most competitive pricing. We are a full-service wholesaler specializing in plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products. With a staff that collectively offers more than 50 years of expertise, our team knows your industry, and we can answer your questions and help you get the parts and equipment you need. From Moen to Renee, we carry the plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products you need from the brands you trust. We also carry a great lineup of Milwaukee tools. At Dublin with Nelson, our goal is the long-term success of your business. We achieve that goal with a simple commitment, doing things right, one customer at a time. If you have a question, or if you're looking for a hard-to-find part, give us a call. Our experts are ready to help. Order online, give us a call, or come by at 507 Airport Road in Dublin. We're committed to building long-term relationships with our customers by earning your business every day.
Q101.3 is the people that put our games out on the airways. They do a tremendous job. We did have a little bit of a lag today. We had a region meeting and the coaches were over from Bleckley County, and I think they might have referenced a young man in his uniform and it didn't come off right, and the coaches were kind of getting a kick out of that today, but it is what it is, and I thought that was pretty neat. TV 35, I think they're represented tonight. I know they are. TV 35 not only does a great job of representing and putting your young people on TV, they also step to the table now. They're helping support, okay, the high school players and the teams. I'm going to announce a list here in a minute that just came out yesterday of the young men from Dublin High School that got selected. TV 35 will be holding a banquet on Monday night. I think that's the 25th. We'll see here in just a second. But it's sponsored by Premier Heating and air, but our young men will be able to go down and get recognized at that banquet also. But we thank TV 35. They provide a player of the game trophy every time they're here and just do a great job. So thank them for all that they do. Our local paper, the Courier Herald, for covering our games and making sure that our young men have what they need in the print to recognize the great jobs that they're doing. Down on the far end over here is Coach Melissa. Let's all give Coach Melissa a big hand. It doesn't matter whether it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever the sport is. At some point, your child is going to need Coach Melissa. She's our athletic trainer. She's provided by Optum Sports. She's at all of our athletic events, and if there's twos going on, she's at one somewhere and she's on call to get across the campus to the other. She's hard. She knows that in order to be an athlete, you got to be tough and you got to play through stuff, but she don't very seldom ever miss a diagnosis. If she does, it makes her mad. But if she tells you your child needs to go to the doctor, you probably need to send them to the doctor. If she says to your child, suck it up and go play, they probably need to suck it up and go play, because Coach Melissa, you're invaluable to us and we appreciate you. I mentioned a few minutes ago, Liberty Baptist Church partners with Dublin City Schools, Dublin football on Friday nights. Mr. Jerry Cantu, Jeff Kane, Dane Stokes. Okay, there are always 3 or 4 people that are here on Friday nights, making sure our young people have water on the sidelines or anything else that needs to get done. I want to thank them. Now, the next guy, I would be remiss if I didn't bring him out here and give him a round of applause, because he does so many things for us, and we couldn't do without him. So Maurice Slaughter, step up front, Mo. Maurice is a game night guy, does a lot of things for us on Friday nights. It keeps things going in the right direction. In the back there, I think, is Miss Whitley McLeod. She films games for us on Friday nights. She handles all the game day responsibilities, setting things up for the school. We want to say thank you to Miss McLeod. She's not only a great person, she not only works closely with our players on Friday nights, but I see how much our student athletes respect her as a classroom teacher and what she does, because I hear them talk about her all the time. So thank you, Ms. McLeod, for all that you do for our young men. I want to recognize 2 other groups that are not here tonight. One of them is always with us, but by their choice, okay? They wanted to have their own banquet because so many of their girls are in football cheer and competition cheer, or basketball and football and so on and so forth. So our cheerleaders are not with us tonight, but I told them when they said they wanted to just do their own that I thought that was great. But just please make sure everybody understands that this was not football, did not want them to be a part of what we're doing, because we can't do what we do on Friday nights without those young people. So we do appreciate them and our band. The band, I thought this year might have been the most active that I've heard from our band in quite some time. They got into it. Would y'all agree, gentlemen, that they brought a lot of energy to you on Friday nights and stuff? So although they're not here, let's give our band and cheerleaders a nice round of applause. I'm going to introduce these coaches, and then we'll get on to the awards here pretty quick. Folks, I feel like I have the best coaching staff in the state of Georgia. I've got a group of young men. Most of us are young, a few of us aren't, but there are a group of young men that, number one, dearly care about the success that your young people have. That matters. I didn't say they were easy on them. And I think, as a parent, if you want your child to be able to reach their fullest potential, you understand that they're going to have to be pushed, and sometimes they may not like the way they're getting pushed. But these guys do a tremendous job of teaching the game of football, teaching the game of life, loving on your kid when he's down, but kicking him in the tail when he's not doing what he's supposed to do. You know, and at the end of the day, as a football coach, you have to have knowledge, but you also have to be able to get people to play at a level where they're not necessarily sure that they can play. And that's part of the reason I feel like I've got the best group of coaches that I could ever have a chance to have. The first gentleman is our assistant head coach. He coaches our centers and guards, Coach Joel Ingram. The next one on my list is our defensive coordinator, who had another phenomenal year from a statistical standpoint, and he coaches our defensive backs, Coach Joe Stubbs. And I hate to admit it, but he is the best fisherman on the staff also. Our offensive coordinator, who coaches our fullbacks and running backs, co-offensive coordinator, is Coach Riley Holmes. Also, as a co-offensive coordinator who works with our offensive tackles and our tight ends and anybody else that he can get his hands on, Coach Keaton Wilson. Coaching our special teams, handling our linebackers, who also handles our place kickers, Coach Brad Wallace. Coaching our defensive ends, Coach Don Vandegrift. Our wide receiver coach did a great job. He's not with us now. I'm hoping he lands on his feet. He's told me he looks like he's fixing to land on his feet, and he certainly deserves to land on his feet. Did a great job for us, a phenomenal individual. If I can help him in any way, you can rest assured I'm going to do anything I can to help this young man. We miss you already, Coach Jarvis Evans. Coaching our running backs with us this year for the first year, did another phenomenal job, but his second stint at Dublin City Schools, Coach Gary Morton. He's standing in the back. I couldn't see him. Coaching our wide receivers, our defensive backs, Coach Fred Williams. Handling our defensive tackles, also the strongest guy on the team at this point in time is Coach Ben Turner. Probably the most valuable guy on the staff to me as an individual person, because I'm constantly having to call on him to help me with technology, with film, with any of that type of stuff that goes on. He says he's been fired more than anybody on our staff. I don't necessarily believe that, but if he's ever been fired, we've been back begging him to come back within an hour. That would be Coach Brandon Walling. As I already mentioned, our athletic trainer, Miss Melissa McDuffie. Obviously, I want to say thank you to my wife individually and Miss Bernadette and all of our assistant coaches' wives. It's not a fun job being a coach's wife. We understand that. It is fun. It is rewarding. But during the football season, I understand the dilemmas that you go through, and unfortunately, a lot of times what you have to go through during the off season. But thank you, ladies, for allowing all these young men and the rest of us to have opportunities to work with your husbands. It's invaluable, so thank y'all.
Hi, I'm Bobby McCarthy.
And I'm Kyle Giroir with A+ Flooring and Construction. Here in Lawrence County and the surrounding counties, we're your fully licensed and insured general contractor.
And we are serving people all over Middle Georgia with all of your home improvement needs.
We do things like flooring, siding, roofs, a complete build, garage doors, industrial doors. Come see us at either of our locations in Dublin, Georgia or Eastman, Georgia. You can call us in Dublin at 478-676-2662, or you can call us in Eastman at 478-559-1280.
So now, what we want to do is we want to recognize each individual player. We're going to start out with our first-year players. As a first-year player, you will receive your letter certificate. You will receive your actual letter, which you can put on your jacket when you choose to purchase you a jacket. Every player gets a pen, a football pen, that you're able to put through the letter into your jacket. And if you play all 4 years, you would have 4 football pens. If you played 2 years of basketball, 4 years, you would have a basketball pen. You simply put the pens onto your letter, and it's representative of the number of years that you lettered in that sport. So our first person is a senior. Their first year of playing football is Mr. Micah Harmon, who stepped up this year, had a great year with us playing football. Let's recognize Micah Harmon. As you guys come across when you pick up your certificate, listen up, man. This is requested by Mr. Holcomb. When you pick up your certificate and stuff, there's an X right over here. Go stand on that X and look at Mr. Holcomb, and he's going to get you a picture. We'll go from there. We had one junior come out for football this year. He actually got injured, unfortunately, but we hope to get him back. And I don't know if I bumped into him tonight or not, but he's junior Jeremiah Mack. Are you here, Jeremiah? All right. We have 3 sophomores who came out for football this year for the first time. Number 1 was DeSante Lewis. Okay, it's DeSante here. I see him. Mr. Alex Bell. And Mr. Kagan Lowe. Good job, brother. We'll head into our freshman class. We had 20 of them. Okay? Good job, Kagan. When you stop and think about the makeup of your team, I heard them say something the other night about Indiana. Indiana playing Miami this week for the national championship. And actually saw this comment from several of the Georgia fans, which is a legit point. Indiana was the oldest team in the playoffs, meaning more 5th and 6th year players than anybody else. Experience and age matters. So with 20 freshmen, 3 sophomores, 1 junior, and 1 senior, that would be 25 of our young men that were on the football team this year was the first year that they've played high school football. So that's a large number when you're talking about 60-something kids total. It's almost half of them. It's the first year they've ever played. So again, a major accomplishment for these young men. If you're wondering how I'm coming out with this order, all I did was took them by class and then put their number there. So they're not in alphabetical order. They're being called out by their numerical order on the roster. Okay? So the first one out of the gate in the freshman class, quarterback, Major Morton. Next gentleman was a running back in a DP. Got playing time, Major. Did you tell everybody about how we got in trouble for you throwing that touchdown pass at the end of the game over there at Central? Coaches got all mad. He goes in the game, drops the dime over there. Who was it caught that one? Kale McCaskill caught that thing, and the coach sent an email over here and ripped us bad about it, but I was glad you got it. But anyway, the running back and the DB who played a lot for us on Friday nights this year is a true freshman, Mr. Matthew Batts. Freshman working at quarterback, seeing how we can develop and come along, Mr. Terrence Rozier Jr. Next guy, it's got to be the shoes. Boy, he can run. He's a good athlete. He's getting strong in the weight room, but he stands out now with those shoes that he's wearing in there. Mr. Jameer Renfro. Come on up, Jameer. Fast, fast, fast. Going to be a heck of a player. Well, next gentleman, I had a lot of fun with him this year. Every day we get him in the training room, and I'm going to have to go ahead and admit I was lying to you on a regular basis. So I hate to have to do that, but at some point you got to man up. I kept telling him that everybody in Johnson County said he was slow and he couldn't outrun nobody and thought he was the slowest guy on our team and so on and so forth. So finally he got mad and he broke one in a JV game and he ran off and left everybody, and I had to tell him, well, I guess you showed them, didn't you? So Kurt Norris, okay, running back, linebacker, freshman, does a good job. His running buddy, which I haven't seen tonight either, is a freshman running back DB, Mr. Melvin Scott. Freshman wide out, defensive back, Antonio Timmons. There he comes. Next one, I'm going to give him a head start to get up here. We'll probably talk about him a little bit more in a few minutes. I think he's the fastest guy on the team. I don't know that, but I think he might be. But he got hurt yesterday in the weight room, but we found out at least Coach Melissa got him into the doctor today, so it sounds like surgery's not in order. We were afraid he might have torn his Achilles tendon. But freshman running back, Vicente Bond. Vicente Bond. Now, I've been trying to tell Vicente all year he needs to watch some of those James Bond movies. So when people ask him his name, he can say Bond, Vicente Bond, okay? Heck of a young man, always got a smile on his face, plays extremely hard. Glad to see you off them crutches. You like that boot better than them crutches too, don't you? Probably outrun everybody. Next young man, Mr. Rashad Timmons. Is Rashad with us? There he is. Rashad's got that long body. He's got a chance to be a pretty good athlete. We just got to get him to decide how good he wants to be, because he's got tons of talent. The next one, I don't know why they call him what they do. I need to find out that story, but they call him Butterbean, okay? Javon Thomas, come on up, Butterbean. I keep reminding him about his uncle all the time. He's got some big shoes to fill, okay, if he's going to live up to what his uncle did here as a linebacker and a tight end. But Javen has done a remarkable job, and I think he's going to turn out to be pretty doggone special. Good job, buddy. Next freshman on the list, got to grow a little bit. But if you go by the size of his heart, he's going to be fine. Nehemiah Snell. Next one's offensive defensive line, Lazarus Sutton. Lazarus Sutton. So is that Lazarus here? Haven't seen him. Okay. All right, next one got a little bit of Friday night playing time. The rumor has it that my defensive ends coach had some kind of NIL package going on or something, I don't know, that guys got sacks, got this, got that, or whatever. There was some kind of reward for them. I don't know. I stayed out of all that. But all of a sudden we play this JV game, and this young man, I think, tried to get deep in the coach's pocket. But he's going to be a heck of a football player. There's no question about that. Roberto Santos. Santilli, pass rushing machine. Pass rusher. Gonna put the hurt on him, ain't you? We gotta have him ready to go on Friday nights next year. Next guy, nicest gentleman on the team. Got better. Hates to run sprints. Hates to run sprints. But he actually got to where he smiled about running them toward the end of the year instead of crying like we did in the first of the year. He's not the first one that ever cried when we ran him, and we told him. But by the end of the year, he was able to handle it, and I look for some great things out of this young man in the future, Mr. Timothy Harris. Big Tim. Tim, hang on a minute. I've been requested by some of the coaches. Turn around.
Yeah,
Tim plays center.
Yeah, no.
They want Tim to call the huddle.
But hit it one time.
Huddle! All right. Big Tim. Huddle him up, Timmy. Huddle him up.
Hi, I'm Matt Sapp, inviting you to come see us at Dexter Meat Company. Our fresh cut meats includes cube steak, stew beef, chuck roast, chuck eye steak, ground beef, ground chuck, and if you love steaks, you'll really love our New York strip, T-bone, and our ribeye and choice or prime cuts. And our marinated steaks have a distinctive taste that you'll be sure to love. We invite all our neighbors to come see us for the freshest cut of meat. Remember, we cater to. Call ahead and we'll have it fixed for you. Monday through Friday, 10 to 7, Saturday, 8 to 6.
Next guy. He's running in the long line. I think he's going to keep the family name, a great name as far as Dublin football goes. Justice O'Neill. Timmy, I don't know if you're running, but he's over there. But I think he hated running sprints just as bad as you did. Would you agree? Okay. But he got better as the year went on too. Carmelo White, are you over there tonight? I didn't think I'd seen him come in. But Carmelo, another big freshman offensive lineman. The next guy plays a little tight end, plays a little offensive line, plays a little linebacker, plays a little bit of everywhere. He's going to be a heck of a football player. He's a little banged up, but I look for him to get well soon. But we think he's got potential to turn out to be something pretty special. That's Brandon Burden. The next two names, Coach Riley tells me that Dublin's going to be throwing the football a whole lot more in the near future because of these next two young people. They both are exceptional. They're long. They go get it. Okay? They're going to be quality receivers, and the first one is Kevin McCaskill Hightower. And I did find out one thing this year. He goes by Kevin Hightower McCaskill. His dad played for me my first year in Dublin, and I actually think that's the first player I coached his dad as well as the kids. So I thought that was a a pretty unique situation. So next, Malik Isaac. Is Malik here tonight? There he is. Kind of looks like a receiver, you know. Look how long and skinny. Okay, got to get some weight on him. But the rascal can go up and high point it. That commercial about you got mossed. I believe he's going to be able to do it to a few of them. And the last freshman on my list is Mr. Jackson Jones. I don't know that I've seen Jackson here tonight. Okay? That concludes our first year award winners. Our second year, okay? Second year players, starting with the senior class. We had 4 of them. One was Bennett Lake. I think he's been out shooting ducks in Arkansas or something, but he's not here tonight. But Bennett was very valuable in a lot of ways. He was a kick returner. He played DB, he played wide receiver, he played some running back, he played some quarterback. He had a very good, solid year for us. We're going to miss Bennett. The next young man handled our place kicking chores, did a great job, was consistent, came to work every day. Uric Andrews. Come on up, Uric. Going to be a pretty darn good soccer player this year too, but we got to get him well. He's suffering from a turf toe injury right now, so we got to get him right. Good job, brother. The next one, you got to love it. Nobody gets more excited about being a Dublin High School football player than this young man. Nobody got more excited when Dublin High School football team won, because he's all about the team. Casmario Kitchens. Proud of you, Cass. Good job, buddy. The fourth senior that was in their second year, what a great attitude. He played. He kept working himself closer and closer and closer to playing time all the time. But again, it's not what can you do for me, it's what can I do for this football team, and that was the attitude he brought every day, and that's Mr. Elijah McDowell. We've got 3 juniors that this was their second year, so it means either they didn't play as a freshman or a sophomore, okay? So we got 3 juniors. First one did a lot of everything for us, a heck of a football player all the way around, Jamarcus Knight. J-Man. Next, second year junior, Pat Caldwell. Don't know if I saw Pat come in. And our third junior that's in their second year playing football, gosh, what a great year he had this year playing fullback. Was a heck of a football player and a one tough dude, Dontavius Cannon. Now we had 10 players that were in their second year as sophomores, okay? 10 of them back-to-back years. First off was Mr. Royce Harrell. Second, Will Harris. Starting middle linebacker. Started playing a lot more 2 ways toward the middle, toward the end of the year. But had a great, great season, and we'll talk a little bit more about Will a little bit later. Next one played wide receiver, played punt returner, handled a lot of our long snapping duties, led the team in receptions, caught punts, did a lot of things, had a heck of a year as a sophomore, Will Wallace. Good job, buddy. His running buddy handled all of our punting for us throughout the course of the season. Played some for us at quarterback, had a solid run back there, and also played some linebacker. Looking forward to seeing some great things out of this young man in the near future, Rylan Yates. They're giving Rylan a hard time. He just had to have his wisdom teeth cut out. So he's just now getting back, but he is unique. He came to me to tell me that he was a little bit unique, and I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, I got to get my wisdom teeth cut out. And I said, well, okay, do you think they can take your tonsils while you're at it? Because 2 years in a row he's had tonsillitis in the middle of football season and had to miss. He said, no, sir, I don't think they're going to do that, but I got 7 wisdom teeth they're going to have to cut out. So it means he's a real smart guy, okay? If you got 7 wisdom teeth, it means you're pretty smart. But the next gentleman, Raylan Harrell. Is Raylan here? Raylan and Royce didn't make it tonight. Come on, Coach Cordy. We're going to have to knock a knot on him. Here we go. All right. Next one, Coach Riley brags on this one to me all the time, son, so I can tell you that the coach is constantly playing you up and the potential you have and what you're going to be able to do at some point here as a Dublin football player is Shamad Height. Heck of a player. We think our next gentleman, probably doesn't realize where he is in his development as a football player. He's going to be a pretty good football player. He's going to be a big individual. He's going to play. You're a sophomore who's playing behind some pretty darn good offensive linemen. Sometimes we lose focus of that. This young man's going to have a great offseason. You can already see it, and we're looking for him to be a heavy contributor next year, Mr. Diaz Stanley.
Allen's Heating and Cooling is your licensed Amana equipment dealer. Trust Allen's Heating and Cooling to install and service your heating and cooling unit. Allen services all brands, and with the purchase of a new Amana, offers a lifetime compressor warranty. Call Sean Clark or any of his friendly staff at Allen's Heating and Cooling, your Amana dealer. Amana lasts and lasts and lasts.
Our next individual, I think you've got to say this is the perfect example of one of those old sayings. It's not the size of the fight in the dog or the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight that's in the dog. This young man is undersized, okay, for what we ask him to do. But he is a tremendous technician. He plays the game extremely hard. He's very smart. He's intelligent. And we think as long as he can stick around, because remember, it's year 2 and you get 4, is Damian Williams Lopez. I'm glad the next young man is with us here tonight. I think I saw him walk in because I saw him take a fall in the dadgum weight room yesterday and popped his head on the dadgum wall when he fell. nervous about him, but he said he was fine. But I know my coaches, we talk about JV games, and you know, sometimes people probably wonder about how much attention do you pay to what goes on in the JV games. Well, it's quite a bit of attention. As a matter of fact, we were discussing in the weight room. It was yesterday, and I was watching this young man do the snatch, which is a lift where you've got to move and the bar go above your head. And I'm saying, man, I love his athleticism. He does it. It doesn't look like a lineman doing it. He looks more fluid, okay, and so on and so forth. You know, and the comment was, Coach, he was probably our most consistent that we had in the offensive line in the JV all year. He just showed up, he did his thing, and that was Lee Marquise Lewis. Come on down, buddy. Very, very smart. Doesn't miss many assignments at all. And last but not least, out of those 10 sophomores, Parker Jones, and I don't think I saw Parker. Parker plays some tight end, wide receiver. Your head is okay too, right? That's what I thought. Thank you. He hard-headed. Now, so again, we talk about the age of a football team. Okay? When you look around now, what do we say? 25 of them were freshmen. 17 of them were sophomores. So 42 of your 60-something young men have only been in football for 2 years, and you get 4 years, okay? So now we're going to talk about the third-year guys. That's where the big class is. That's why we think we have a chance next year to be really special if we can keep all these young men working, showing up for weights, being in the weight room when you're supposed to be there. If you've got a class where you can't be in there, we've got it open before school or after school. Because if you're going to play, you're going to lift. So we got to get that squared away. But we've got one senior that was a third-year player. It wasn't by his choice because he moved in, okay, and wasn't here as a freshman. But a phenomenal player we'll talk about a little bit more in a few minutes, Dorian Carcamo. Dorian played running back and linebacker and was phenomenal. A lot of the group coming up here, there were one senior, there were 17 juniors, which means 3 years they've been with us all 3 years. They're learning a little bit something more every day they show up out there. They're doing a good job. First on the list, ward number 4 was Trav Bostic, shut down corner and a running back. They got him out for basketball. Now he's a shutdown guard. He plays that defense. Jacarian Jones, wide receiver, safety. Next guy, built like an Adonis. Kept getting better and better and better as the season went on, handled some kickoff chores for us, played some linebacker for us, played a little bit on the offensive side. Nazian Mitchell. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, next on the list. Not the biggest guy on the football team. He's another one of those, I think you got to measure the heart to determine exactly what you're dealing with. Had a tremendous year. Had to fight for playing time, but he always did. I think he made a lot of improvement throughout the course of the year. He's impressed me with his desire to want to continue to get better, because he's one of the young men that's class schedule's not allowed him to be in the weight room. He's one of the 4 young men that are coming in the mornings prior to school starting at 5:45, so that they can do what they need to do to be the best athlete that they can possibly be. He had a great year. We're looking forward to a better year next year. Jaden McCray. Boogie. Appreciate you, boy, doing a good job. Next junior, started the year off kind of slow. Probably felt like he wasn't going to get to play a lot. JV play, he continued to get better and get better and get better, and at the end of the year, he was actually taking reps with the first or second offense at tight end, okay? So we're looking for big things out of him next year, Acadian Marshall. Wide receiver, running back, DB. Has made you can see a different attitude in the weight room right now. He's here every day, he's on time, he's doing what he's supposed to do. I think he's trying to earn that playing time for next year, and he's got the ability to make sure that that happens. Jabari Bell. Next guy might be the clown on the team. There ain't no doubt he's the loudest on the team. There ain't no doubt wherever he is, there's some talking going on. He probably could be considered the life of the party. Sometimes Coach Stubbs would like to just choke him. I know. Can any of y'all tell me who that probably is? Ty Salter, come on down. He bounces off the walls, but he was kind of the nickel DB this year, if you will. When we went to 5 DBs in the game, he was that guy. We've got to find a way that he can get solid and get on the field next year, because he's got a lot of ball skills and a lot of ability. Next guy played tight end, in and out at outside linebacker, had a really solid year, looking for a better year next year, Zion Porter.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. As the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right all year round. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available, or save up to $2,500.
Products you can count on, a name you can trust. That's Mid-State Tractor and Equipment.
They're going to talk about this next one, I'm sure, maybe a little bit more in a few minutes, but I want to say what I want to say about it. He ain't the biggest dog in the fight. But I think if I had 11 of him, you might have a real hard time beating us. He's another one of those that's 100% about the team. He might be the most physical guy that we have, pound for pound. He loves to play the game of football, and he's good to be around. He is a great leader. He doesn't always lead by vocal, but if you're looking for something to be done the right way, and you're counting on somebody to be where they're supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to be doing, this kid is it. Okay? Mr. Kai Young. Next one had a great year for us. He's having to try to live up to the family because his brothers before him were really, really good. I think he's handling that pressure of trying to live up to them extremely well, and I think he has a bright future. Jalen Doherty. He's looking fresh tonight too, man. I see you, Doherty. I don't know if this one ranks the strongest on the team pound for pound or not, but he probably should if he's not. But unbelievable. And I promise you, if he don't mess it up, he's going to be playing a lot on Friday nights next year. He's intelligent. He's going to do everything right. He's going to be where he's supposed to be. He might be outsized, but he will be on somebody's hip blocking their hind end, and that's why Terry in Charleston. All right, Wyterian. Everybody in your mind, while he's walking up, take a look at him. Don't say anything, guys. And just in your mind, put you a number in your mind that you think this young man can bench press. Come here. How much is your bench max?
315.
Thank you. 315 pounds for that dude. That's how strong he is. And it's going to be 330 in about 4 more weeks because he's going to make his 15-pound jump, and he just keeps going because he just keeps working. Okay? Heck of a young man. The next one stayed beat up, banged up a little bit this year. I think he got a little bit discouraged. But I will tell you this. He is on my radar in this sense. We have got to have him have a heck of a year because he has the ability. He's got to believe in himself. He's got to continue to work, and he needs to stay healthy. But he's a heck of a young man. We're counting on great things from him, Mr. Blake Lukey. And I like to aggravate him too. I just don't want to make him mad at 6'5", 225, 230. He's liable to get me down to hurt me. All right, next one. Had a heck of a year. He's been doing the camp circuit. I think he's already picked up a couple of offers. He's a defensive tackle for us. He just continued to get better all year. His lateral movement has continued to get better. I'm starting to see the manhood come to the weight room with him. His maxes are continuing to go up, continuing to improve, and we're looking for great things again next year out of Deontay Walker. Another young man that has unbelievable leadership skills. A young man that puts the team above anything else. He has a strong, strong desire to be excellent in whatever he does. If you had a bunch of him, you would always have a good football team. That's Mr. John Oliver. He's got a little bit of nasty in him too. We got this play, we call it counter 40W nose, where he comes across through there and kind of blindsides their nose tackle. I think he kind of likes doing that. So Looking forward to a great year next year. The next one, I'm sure he's going to get talked about some more in a few minutes, but you talk about a dog, he's a dog. Quite frankly, if you want to say who's the alpha, he might be the alpha with this football team. He doesn't do it by vocal. He does it with his physicality. He does it with his play on both sides of the football. Mandarian Stanley. I can't tell if he's limping or pimping right now. Go out and brag on a man like that, I think his chest swelling up. Do he do that always? I hear you. Good job, buddy. Next one played through injuries quite a bit all year, but he's a starter for us on the offensive line. Always a consistent football player every Friday night. Telling him we need to get him to the doctor and find out if there's anything we can do to make his knees feel better with Mr. Jaden O'Neill. Last but not least, in our third-year junior class, started for us on offense, played just as many snaps on defense. We kind of had the rotation going around in there. Also picked him up a couple of offers, I think, along the way. Mr. DeMarcio Walden, D-man. Appreciate you, brother. All right, the next group, the players and the parents of the next 5 individuals deserve a heck of an ovation and a pat on the back. We've only had 5 young men that have played football all 4 years. I think some of that might have had to do with this senior class did not get to play when they were in the 8th grade. We were shut down for COVID. When you don't stay involved in something, you have a tendency to drift away from it. Senior parents that have gone through 4 years of your young people being a part of Dublin High School football, you've made sacrifices also. We understand that. You've had to have your son at summer workouts instead of vacation. Instead of the family vacation or family get-together on Labor Day, your son had to be at football practice. One of those years, he had to practice football when y'all were having Thanksgiving. I wished we could have done that to you every year. But the reality of it is, parents have to make sacrifices also. So thank you, parents, for all you've done to help these 5 young men. The first one here sent me a message. It's the only person not here tonight that I've heard from. He said, Coach, we had a family situation come up. And he did. And he said, I'm not going to be able to be here tonight. But a tremendous young man and a great football player, and we think he's going to have an opportunity to go somewhere and play at the next level before we get done, and that's Quantavious Loving. Played tight end and defensive end for us. The next 4-year letter winner, these young men will get a 4-year plaque also, but played quarterback for us, had long snap for us, kind of felt like we'd work with a younger long snapper if we could to keep my quarterback from having to bend over and put his head between his legs and let somebody have a clear shot at him. But fine young man. We'll talk about him a little bit more in a little bit, but Mr. Jeff Davis, quarterback. Best dressed. Best dressed. We called it before we ever got here. But he played in the offensive line, played defensive end, was a heck of a young man, a pleasure to be around for 4 years. When he walks up here, give him a big round of applause. Isaiah Red. Appreciate you, brother. Whoop, get your pen. Here it is. Thank you, Red.
At Balanced Aesthetics, Weight Loss and Wellness, we bring together advanced treatments all in one convenient location. Our mission is simple, to help you look and feel your best, inside and out. Our aesthetic services include cosmetic injectables, microneedling, laser treatments, medical-grade skincare, chemical peels, and more. Our aesthetic services are priced to make high-quality care more accessible for everyone. We offer insurance-friendly visits, along with convenient self-pay options. From personalized plans to steady support, we're here to help your weight loss journey feel manageable and encouraging. We also offer a variety of wellness services, including hormone pellets, testosterone replacement therapy, and more, designed to support your overall well-being. Proudly serving the Dublin community with additional locations in Tifton and Eastman. Balanced Aesthetics, where wellness meets beauty. Financing options available. Give us a call at 839-BALANCE.
Next guy. Gosh, he's grown up so much. We were laughing in the equipment room this year, I don't know, about week 2 or something. He come up to the window and unfortunately or fortunately, it's all out of love. But all of these kids almost end up with a nickname at some point. And till they hit somebody, I kind of tell them, I won't learn your name till you hit somebody. So this young freshman walking around, and I swear he looked just like him. But we nicknamed him Gary Coleman. Okay, y'all remember Gary Coleman? What is it Gary Coleman said? What was it he used to say? Yeah, what you talking about? Okay, what you talking about? Okay, so one of my favorites of all times, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, is Matthias Baker. Last but not least, what a great person. I wish that I could have gotten this young man to verbalize, be willing to talk, because he got a story. And I'm not talking about a religious story or anything. I'm talking about a desire in him, a desire to be great, a desire to go to work every day to be the best that he can be. If he could help spread that to people, it would be phenomenal. But he just takes care of himself for the most part. But he always had his teammates back, and he always led by an example. Heck of a young man and a great player, Tamaj Carswell. Great job, brother. All right, you guys listen up over here closely. Okay, we don't have anything to hand you with this because we just had it announced. And I'll try to go through the list again. I told y'all that TV 35 just released their Heart of Georgia or Lawrence County All-Stars. So these young men have been named to the Lawrence County All-Stars. You will have a banquet at the Chamber of Commerce on Monday, January 26th at 6 p.m. Players are invited. The parents do not go to that. Okay? 6 p.m., Monday, January 26th at the Chamber of Commerce. We good? So these people were named Trav Bostic, Dontavius Cannon, Tamaj Carswell, Jeff Davis, Jamarcus Knight, Will Wallace, John Oliver, DeMarcio Walden, Jalen Doherty, Quantavious Lovett, Mandarian Stanley, Will Harris, Dorian Carcamo, Kai Young, Jacarian Jones, Ryland Yates. Those were the young men that were selected to be at that banquet. I think, I don't know, don't they do that, vote online or something or another or whatever? Has anybody seen that? Huh? I'm not sure, but anyway, that's with TV 35. All right, next, we're going to recognize our young men that were named All-Region. When we call your name, please come up and pick up your plaque. The first two, Offensive Lineman of the Year in our 10-team region. This is voted on by all coaches. Offensive Lineman of the Year in the region, Tamaj Carswell. Offensive Back of the Year, Trav Bostic. We had two young men that were named First Team All-Region on offense. If you got a Player of the Year, you couldn't get First Team or whatever, okay? So First Team All-Region on offense was Dontavius Cannon and DeMarcio Walden. We had two young men that were named to First Team All-Region on defense, Jamarcus Knight and Quantavious Lovett. Jamarcus Knight, Quantavious Lovett. Named First Team All-Region as a kicker, Uric Andrews. Second Team All-Region offense, Quan Lovett. Second Team All-Region defense, Jalen Doherty. and Mandarian Stanley. The next young men were named honorable mention all region. That means their name was on the board. On the offensive side of the ball, John Oliver, Jaden O'Neal, Jeff Davis, Will Wallace, good job, man. On the defensive side of the ball, honorable mention, all region, Will Harris, Jacarian Jones, Kai Young, Deontay Walker, and Dorian Carcamo. You're welcome. So that's region, 10 teams, okay? I found this all-state team. I don't know much about it. It's called the Recruit Georgia, okay? And we had several young men that were listed in the Recruit Georgia All-State Honorable Mention. So we want to recognize them. These young men, come on up. You were Recruit Georgia Honorable Mention All-State. Trav Bostic, Tamaj Carswell, DeMarcio Walden, Jacarian Jones, and Jamarcus Knight.
Thank you.
All right, J-Man, stay right there for a second, okay? That was Recruit Georgia All-State. Next, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution has an all-state team. J-Man, usually in the past, they would have a first and second team all-state, then they would have an honorable mention all-state. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution started doing it this year. They have a first team, and then they have what they call the next 20, which would be their second team, okay? J-Man, through the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, was named All-State Next 20. So we got a platform for that also. The next gentleman kind of keeps the streak alive. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution has tabbed one of the Dublin Irish football players this year as a first-team All-State football player. I think they did a better job than the region did. First-team All-State, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, was Jalen Doherty. First-team All-State. Good job, man.
Hey, this is Perry with Williamson's Bakery. We've been serving Dublin and Lawrence County since 1965. At Williamson's Bakery, we put a little extra love in everything we make. Check us out on Facebook, or you can call us at 272-3344. Better yet, just come get you some. We're located at 1634 Veterans Boulevard.
All right, I'm going to pass it over now. We're starting to go into our individual team awards that we've selected, and going to turn it over to the coaches. Coach Joel Ingram will be up first. Coach Ingram will be handling our captain's awards, and guys, y'all rotate yourselves through, okay?
I'm Coach Ingram. I'm going to be presenting the captain's awards tonight. We got 4 captains, all very deserving. Okay, I'm going to start with our first award tonight. Our trigger man, senior quarterback Jeff Davis. Our second team captain is one Coach mentioned earlier, a silent leader, very close to mine and Coach Wilson's heart because he was just a very reliable player. Senior offensive lineman Tamaj Carswell. Our third senior captain award is a young man. He came to us. He's not a native of Dublin, but he moved to us when he was in his freshman year. When nobody knew him at first, man, he just caught our eye knocking the crap out of field practice. We just called him New York, and we just knew he was from New York. But as time went on, he became accepted by his teammates. He became a great leader, both in spirit and with his words, and had a great year this year. And it just tickles me to death for our senior captain, Dorian Carcamo. The most mispronounced name by opposing loudspeaker PA announcers. Good job, buddy. And then lastly, our fourth senior captain tonight couldn't be with us, as Coach mentioned, but we certainly want to honor him. Young man fights through a lot and very loved by his teammates. And when we went to offensive line camp, he was our alpha male that always took charge. Coach Wilson and I, we could just turn him loose to be in charge of the guys. Quantavious Lovett.
For this next award, if you came to any of the JV games, as soon as he touched the ball, you already knew what was about to happen. I kind of wish he could learn a little juke moves because all he can do is run straight. But once he is straight, he's gone, he's fast. And he's a young man, he got a lot of potential. He's gonna be great as long as he can get healthy, stay healthy, and continue to learn and strive in this game. And his name is Bond. Vicente Bond.
Slow down, man, before you fall, man. Come on, man. Before you fall, you gotta cut that thing off, peg leg. That ain't good. Excuse me. Go this way. We gotta learn our plays and how to walk across the stage.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Coach Fred Williams. Along with coaching DBs, I had the pleasure of serving as the JV defensive coordinator. And this young man made it easy to call a defense because he always came up with a timely sack or TFL. No part to Coach Mandy and the NIL money. I think we can agree as a coaching staff, He's going to be a great player for us, and we're looking forward to his progress to help us out on Friday nights. But the JV Defensive Player of the Year is Roberto Santos.
We're going to introduce our Scout Team Player of the Year award. If you've ever been to a Dublin Irish practice, it's the Super Bowl, Scout Team versus Scout Team. That's one of the best things about being at Dublin. Your kids get coached because it's everything. Our coaches get so competitive during that time. But a young man that made a lot of plays that carried over into the JV season, and we're ecstatic about what's to come to him from him, Malik Isaac.
Good job, man.
All right, I'm going to give out the Scout Defense Award. If y'all have ever been to our practice, when you're on Scout Defense against the number one offense, you're probably going to be out there for a minute or two. And there was one guy that, when I called for the Scout D, they were always going to be there. And I would actually try to take him out, and he'd say, "Coach, I'm good. Just leave me alone. Leave me alone." Hey, he might get yelled at by everybody, but he's steady out there plugging away. It was an honor coaching him, and he's a great young man, Elijah McDowell. Hardcore.
I think your vote was unanimous, brother.
All right, I'm Coach Wallace. I'm going to be giving an award out for Most Improved Defense. And before I even get started with it, first thing that was asked of me in April was, "Coach Wallace, who's going to play linebacker this year?" Coach Holmes had that meeting with me in the office, and I said, "Coach, we're going to have to let's see where the cards fall." But this young man, he came on at the beginning of the season, and he got better and better. And the last ball game, I think, was one of his best. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with him this next season. He had 25 sacks, 34 assists, 50 I'm getting blind. 59 total tackles, 9.5 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, and 4 PBUs. Will J. Harris. Great job, kid. All right, we've kind of got a not so fast right here because we had somebody else on the defensive side that really came along. As a sophomore, we butted heads a lot. I saw a lot of potential in him, but he just wouldn't quite get there. Wouldn't make the sacrifices he needed. This year, it was incredible because I saw a new man come out. He stayed a little banged up this year, but he tried to get back as quick as he could, and I was proud of him. But, the sky's the limit for him. I'm excited that we'll have him again next year and see where we go. Deontay Walker. Don't fall down. And he's a biggin.
Hey, good job, boy.
We about fell the steps. Graceful.
Hi, I'm Coach Riley. I'm going to be introducing the most improved offensive player. This next young man, he had some pretty big shoes to fill. I really just kind of thought of it up here. Over the past 2 years, we had an all-state player at his position. The year before that, we had an all-state player at his position. In 2019, we had an all-state player and the overall state player of the year at his position. In 2018, we had an all-state player at his position. So he had some big shoes to fill, and I don't know if he realized that as he went into this year. We didn't know if he was going to be the guy. About midway through the summer, we're watching the tape at a half-pad camp, and we see this kid make a run, break about 3 tackles. And for a position that had been an anchor in our offense that we were worried about, we knew from that point forward, we're going to be okay here. And as his position coach, I can tell you it's been an absolute blast to coach him, because when I ask him to do something or I give him feedback, I want to see this get better, I see him try to improve those things all the time. And I know it's been a blast to coach you, Don. You're our most improved offensive player, Dontavius Cannon.
Hey, it's Stephanie again here at Shamrock Honda Kawasaki CF Motos, and I wanted to tell you about our CF Moto 4x4s. Perfect to get you in the deer stand or in your deer blind, and excellent once you kill that big buck to get it out of the woods. We have them in a variety of colors, including camouflage, emerald green, and reds. Come see us today for our full lineup of CF Moto 4x4s at 106 Savannah Avenue, East Dublin, Georgia. 478-272-4563.
All right, so before I give out this award, this is my one time up here tonight because he knows I talked too long, but I want to say a couple things. You know, not just me, a couple other guys, like, it was a real interesting season with all the things that have went on here at Dublin with the budget and whatnot, okay? I'm just going to be honest with you. You know, like middle of the season, you're unsure about your job, where you'll be, stuff like that. And, you know, so you're dealing with football. You don't want to let the guys down, but it's a lot going on in your own home. But, you know, there was a time that parents, I just want y'all to know how proud you should be of your kids, and nothing to do with football. Just how daggum bold they are. And just to name a few that, you know, they went to bat to keep, you know, and fight for guys that they know love them at our board meeting, which is not normal for a 16, 17-year-old kid to do. And just some of those guys that you know, did that. D-Man, Mando, Deontay, Smokey, Jaden O'Neal, Deontay, even your sister, Zaya Walker. Guys, it's incredible the parents, it's incredible the kids you've raised to be as bold and brave as they are at their age. Guys, that you know, there's not a lot many times in your career where you're just humbled and you just walk out of a place humbled. And then that was one of those times for me, guys. I appreciate you and I love you for that. And I'll never, ever forget how bold you guys are. You know, it makes me want to be more bold. You know, it ain't always the coach teaching the player. Sometimes it's the player teaching the coach. And that's definitely a situation, you know, just throughout the season we went through. Now, I just want to also say I'm presenting tonight, you know, another most improved offensive player. He is one of those guys I talked about being so bold. There's times where our weight room's only open up here by one coach, and it's Coach Turner. And and he's here all the time. You know, he's got a special situation where he's got weights a couple times a week with us because he's got IB, and he comes in the mornings and lifts. He's a special, special, special dude who can play right tackle. He can play left tackle. I think he can play guard. I think he can do whatever he really wants to do on the offensive line, and also the defensive line. I don't even got to say his name because everybody really already knows who it is, Mr. John Oliver.
Good afternoon. My name is Coach Brandon Walden, and I'm up here to present the Paul DeFazio Competitor Award. And when you think of somebody who shows up every day, no matter what, to compete and do the best that they can, Dorian Kokomo shows that effort every day at practice. And that award goes to Dorian Kokomo. Good job, Dorian.
Just a little bit again on this award that he has. It's been an award that's been here for 25 years. Actually, before that, there was a gentleman that was a part of the football year, Paul DeFazio. And the story of the persons that were here before he fell for him on Friday nights. He wasn't a coach or whatever, he was a community person who loved other football. And they said, unfortunately, at times, you would have to turn the sound down on the video when no one played good or something. Because Paul DeFazio was such a competitor, and he wanted to see WDIG football do so good. Thus, the Paul DeFazio.
I'm not going to be too long-winded with this one, but the next award I'm giving is Special Teams Award. The guy's been with me for 2 years. Had to start learning a little bit of the soccer lingo to kind of put it in with football so that he could kick better. And he was one of those that he wasn't going to give you everything his leg had, but he was giving you enough to get it through the uprights. And I told him one day, I said, man, at some point in time, I just want you to kick it as hard as you can. Well, he started coming on this year, and you could see his leg get stronger and stronger throughout the season, and that's Uric Andrews.
My name's Coach Morton. I'm the running back coach. I am presenting the Offensive Player of the Year award. I had the opportunity of coaching this young man. I will have the opportunity of coaching him next year as well. If you ask him what his favorite play is, I'm sure he's going to say counter 40W, because I believe that's the one that he always gashed people on. So our Offensive Player of the Year award goes to Trav Bostic.
Do what now? Tell me the fish was getting around. Fish was getting blind. He tried one, wasn't he? Good job, man.
Good evening. I'll be presenting the Defensive Player of the Year award this year. It was a close race. We played tremendous defense at times. I quote, at times. There's a lot of stats that go out there, and you can see a lot of defensive players end up having 100+ sacks in a year, or they have 30+ tackles for loss. Well, they play a lot of snaps on defense, so that means they're not very good. See, when you don't have as many tackles, that means that we're not playing defense, so that's a bonus. So it goes a lot to show we do a point system, so this is all pretty much based on points. It was a tight race. Quintavious Lovett was up there in the race. J-Man had a couple touchdowns. You was close, man, just not quite there. You had 138, but this gentleman had 47 tackles, 17 of them for loss, 8 sacks, 3 PBUs. Defensive Player of the Year, Jalen Darty.
All right, so next I'm going to be announcing our two-way player of the year. This young man, he finished the year on offense with 819 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns. He ended up having another 50 yards receiving. I just heard Coach Vandy say he finished second on our defense in total points with a couple of touchdowns on that side of the ball. As the year went on, it's like this guy got better and better. And as the lights got brighter, he performed higher and higher. Okay, our two-way player of the year, Jamarcus Knight, J-Man.
I'm Brian Bazemore, President and CEO of Community Bank of Dublin, Lawrence County. We would like to invite you to come by and experience a welcoming banking environment. Come by today and have a cup of coffee and let us talk with you about our many products, savings accounts, checking accounts, CDs, and our many loans. You're more than just a number to us, you're family. Come by today, Community Bank of Dublin, Lawrence County, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
This next award, I get the pleasure of introducing. It's called our DAL Award. This means dedication, ability, and leadership. This young man we talked about earlier, we talk about as coaches, if we had 11 of him on the field, we'd be pretty good on either side of the ball. This young man, anytime we're in the film room for a block, he always had a pad in his hand. He takes in everything that you give him. He's soaking it up, taking notes, always asking questions. If we can get all our other guys to lock in like him, I think we can win a championship next year. Gives you everything he has on the field. And sometimes I have to take him out of the scout team on defense because he's going to give all 150 pounds of himself. That award goes to Kai Young.
Coaches Award. Coaches Award. Academic Awards.
This year, the coaches decided that we always do one coaches award, but the dedication, just like the DLA, the kid that you can count on. Most of the time, it's, could be a freshman, could be a sophomore, but we had to split it up between two seniors this year that we felt like that were well deserved of this award. One of them couldn't be here tonight with the family emergency, as you all know. Quintavious Lovett, y'all give him a shout. And the other one was unanimous. Has done everything that you ask him to do, no matter what. Been here in the program for 4 years. Matthias Baker.
Congratulations to each and every one of y'all. We've got the next awards that we're going to give out. They're not voted on. You look them up, and that's our academic awards. Okay, what are you doing in the classroom while you're playing this ball and showing up to practice and so on and so forth? But our freshmen with the highest GPA after their first semester at Dublin High School was Major Morton. Our sophomore with the highest academic average, Mr. Rylan Yates. The junior with the highest grade point average on the football team is Mr. Kai Young. Our senior, who's in line right now, I don't know if it's official, but he was number one in his class when I looked it up right after the semester, was Mr. Jeff Davis. I want to recognize our Touchdown Club officers. Folks, without the Touchdown Club, we'd be in trouble. Okay? They do a lot for these young men, and unfortunately, there's about 10 of them. They do 99% of the work. But I've really never heard them complain. So what can we do? So I'd like to call each of these three up that are our officers, and each one will be officers next year. Our treasurer, Miss Lisa Daniel. Our vice president is Mr. Kirk Hartwell. And the president is Mr. Alton Culver. Go, girl. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Alton.
Yes, sir.
We also choose each year to give what we call our Fan of the Year. I talk with the people in the Booster Club to kind of get their opinions. Obviously, I know what's going on around the field house on a daily basis or weekly basis or whatever. We try to come up with a consensus of individuals that have gone above and beyond on a regular basis to help our football program be successful. We felt like it was an easy choice this year. He's not only done it this year, he's been doing it for years. But the gentleman that we chose this year to be the Irish Fan of the Year is Mr. Nelson Carswell III. Yeah, well, you weren't told. All I told your wives to make sure you were here. I don't think they missed a Booster Club meeting. He's there every single week to film the TV show. And he's there every Friday night that he can be around to help this football team. So we appreciate all you've done, Mr. Carswell. Thank you. We're about ready to close. So I want to make sure that everyone is aware and ask you to keep your fingers crossed with the upcoming NFL draft, as Dublin's Romello Height is being projected to an early to mid-round draft pick in this NFL draft. He's one of ours. We can't do anything but pull for him, and I just don't know if people keep up with that stuff enough to understand. I was sitting at my house, or I'm actually laying down about to go to sleep about a week and a half ago, and the phone rings, and it's from Missouri. I answered it. The guy introduces himself, and he tells me how he is a retired FBI for 35 years, and now he works for the Los Angeles Rams. And he would like to ask me some questions as he's doing his background checks on Romello Height. What kind of player was he? What kind of person was he? Did he like to work out? Did he come to practice every day? Could he learn the things that you were trying to teach him? Do you ever know of him getting in trouble? Just on and on and on with questions. And we went back and I explained it to these young men the next day. People are always watching. People are always wanting to know. People, you're earning your reputation while you're a high school student. I said, well, you know, what do y'all think? They said, well, Coach, we think he'll be a second or third round draft pick unless somebody totally falls in love with him, and he might go in round one. So let's keep our fingers crossed, okay, that Romello gets an opportunity to suit up and play in the NFL. To our seniors, you've been special during your 4 years. Your class has won 78% of your football games. Your overall record is 38 wins and 11 losses during your career. You've been at least to the second round of the state playoffs all 4 years, and obviously reaching the state semifinals of your junior year. For our returning players, expectations are high for the upcoming year. Reaching your expectations are never easy. Let's make sure that we're preparing to meet them each and every day during this off season. Thanks again to the parents for your support and your sacrifice for each one of these young men. We're planning to have our parent meeting in mid-April to get you all the information as far as dates about spring practice, summer practice, and dead weeks. Thanks everyone for being here. We hope you have a great night, and let's give these young men one more round of applause. Thank you. That's it. Thank you.